JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone, and welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 23rd of January 2023. So welcome everyone, welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation. It should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. So guys, now then, let's jump into the charts. Nikkei 225, there we go, we have a nice boost here, pushed to the upside, broke above, well actually we gapped up to the upside because we had a very good rally on Friday in the US, and this is what it pushed the Nikkei futures a little bit further north. Excuse me guys. It pushed a little bit Nikkei to the upside. And yeah, we ended up gapping here nicely to the upside, and there we go. We came very close to this 100-day EMA. Look, excuse me, guys, my voice is a little bit on the downside. Okay, so managed to clear this one up. So hopefully we can continue. Well, talk about yeah, a rough voice on Monday morning. Right, guys. Again, let me rephrase this. So basically, we managed to push through this barrier, through this 26,620 territory, which was my level that I was talking about. Of course, previously, if you remember, I said that if we break through it, then yes, I'll go higher. We did initially, but then we kind of, gapped back down. And now we're gapping back to the upside. So, okay, I would say very interesting developments here. First, what I would like to do here, of course, is to keep an eye here on this area of resistance around that 100 and the 100 and the 200-day EMAs. So at the same time, I would like to see this one staying above the 26,620 territory in order to remain comfortable with higher levels. Well, of course, this is all that I would like it to do, but of course the question, will it actually do that? Now, long story short, for now, everything seems to be in line. Everything seems to be okay with with that idea. So as long as we stay above that 26,620 territory, which is around here, then yes, I'll continue aiming for these two EMAs, the 100 and 200-day EMA. Around here, we do have that 27,166 territory and the 27,350 level. I'll keep those in mind. I'll keep that whole area in mind, and then we'll go from there. If we clear it, yes, I'll go further north, but as I said before, my further north might be limited to this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 14th of September of 2021. So again, it's a bit of a tentative line. Don't get me wrong. We only have 2 touches, but hey, maybe this could be the 3rd touch there. Now, Shanghai Composite. So this one had a good run here. Had had a good run on Friday. Today China is closed, as you are aware probably. If not, check the economic calendar. Yep, and look, today, yeah, in China they're celebrating Chinese New Year, so Happy New Year to those who are celebrating. But yeah, guys, looking at this picture here, I would say everything's still positive, and I said before that if we clear this 3,226 territory, I'll go higher, but then we have potentially, we could have this rising channel idea here, but hey, we cleared that, and I think this rising channel is kind of just, you know, it needs to go, and we should rather just stay with some of these levels instead. So yeah, at the moment, I will aim for the 3,278 territory here, together with the 3,295 level, and then we'll go from there. For the downside, guys, I would like to see a break at least below this, back below the 3,226 territory, and also a break of this upside line, steep upside line taken from the low of the 3rd of January. And then we could take it from there. So yeah, that's a simple game plan right now for the Shanghai Composite. So let's see if this is going to work out. Dow Jones Industrial Average, guys, very quickly on this one. So yeah, beautiful rebound on Friday. Look at this. Well done for the bulls. Now what's next? Well, to be honest, I think that we could see maybe, you know, a push back up a little. I talked about this, and I said that if we rebound from this upside line, I will go back up. This level, by the way, just to remind you again, this is the opening price of Dow for this year. So we're back into positive territory for the year. However, what I wanted to kind of run by you is the idea here, which is this basically. If we stay above this upside line, okay, we could go higher. We could go even further north if we could break above this 21-day EMA. However, I have a little issue here with this little potential downside line, which, okay, again, a tentative line. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really mean that if, you know, this is exactly where it's going to hold. It might even hold somewhere even around here. Either way, keep your eyes on this territory. If we do push above that 21-day EMA here, shown as the yellow line, yes, I'll go a little bit higher, but I will aim for these two lines, for these two trend lines here, tentative trend lines for now, but could be a nice, good target, and then we will take it from there. If we clear it, yes, further acceleration to the upside could be possible. For the downside, pretty straightforward. A break of this upside line is required. Nasdaq had a fantastic rally on Friday. Yep, gaining the most out of three indices, the top three U.S. indices. And yeah, look at this. I mean, rebounded from that 21-day EMA. This is what I was telling you about. My preferred downside scenarios from around here, this level right there. There we go. This 11,093. If we clear that, then yes, I'll go to the downside. But at the moment, we're seeing a break here. Look, I'm not saying that I'm going to become very bullish or anything like that. No, I need still that break of this, you know, this long-term. I think it's a long-term downside resistance line taken from the high of the 28th of December of 2021. If we clear that, then yes, I'll go higher. I'll go towards that 12,166 near the 200-day EMA. If we continue to trade somewhere below this downside line, I will just remain neutral and just observe the price action. Look, if you are a little bit, let's say, impatient, then what you can do here is you can keep an eye on this low. I think that's the low of last week. Is that correct? Let me just double check. Yeah, that's the low of last week, guys. So you can keep an eye on that one, the 11,252 territory, or in a way you can round it up just to 50. So 11,250. If you clear that one, then yes, I will consider maybe a move lower. But like I said, I'll get more comfortable with the downside on a drop somewhere below this area right here. I think that I need to add an additional line here, just because I think this is more of an area rather than a level. So this area right here between the 11,050, 11,093, if we clear that one, then yes, I'll get more comfortable with the downside. Now the German index DAX. Look, I talked about this last week, and I said that hey, we have corrected lower here, and I said I was kind of aiming for that 38.2, to be honest, 14,860, but we got a nice rebound. So look, what I'm gonna do, I think the let me just double check something very quickly. Yeah, I think the 900 level, we didn't really reach this 14,860. We actually ended up forming here we just actually ended up respecting the Fibonacci level, not the extension one, but the Fibonacci. So let me just get rid of this one, I think. Let me just remove it. There we go. So we rebounded from that 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci. Yep. So okay, so that's good. So probably it's better to stick to this one and rather than the extension. The extension worked nicely with the upside, but now with the downside, for example, yeah, if you're looking for some lower levels, I think that the better option here is to wait for a drop again below that 14,920 and then go lower. For the upside, I will take a very conservative approach and wait for a push above the current highest point of January, near the 15,270 territory. If we clear that, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could join in. Now, jumping into gold, looking at this picture here, I mean, I can see that yes, we're getting a little hold up near this 1935 level. On Friday, we actually overshot it by a little bit. It was just by like 1.5 points or something like that, roughly. So yeah, I can mark that one, 1.37.5 here. Okay, let's keep it at 1.37. Look, if you want to go higher, guys, probably the easier option is to wait for a push above this 1937 territory, because we have already kind of moved quite a lot here, and if we will respect this upside line, then I can say that we have moved a lot away from this upside line. But of course, I would say, look, this, for example, when I was looking at this picture here, we had a nice, like a bullish 3 method here. And yeah, you can see that it pushed higher, it pushed nicely to the upside. Now what we're seeing here potentially could be seen as maybe something like a possible bullish flag here. Again, too early to talk about that, but if it is the case, if you only consider these 3 candles, the last 3 candles for now, it looks like something like a bullish flag, but again, some confirmation breaks are needed, and for me, to be honest, still the confirmation break would come on a break of this 1937 territory, and then yeah, I would go a little bit to the upside. Now, for the downside, what I would like to see here, of course, ideally a drop below the 1896, but I do understand that it's quite a wait. And look, what you can do right now, and the way that you can play this out, for example, keep your eyes on the Friday's low near the 1920. We're currently balancing just fractionally above it. Wrong one. There we go. We're currently balancing just fractionally above it. So if we do start falling below it, yes, I will start aiming to the downside. But don't forget that it might be just a false breakout, and we could see like a move lower, and by the end of the day, it could reverse back up, and we could end up being in this little territory here, and we're kind of stuck, and we're back to square one. So and then we're actually back to considering the idea of a bullish flag, but again, that's not confirmed as well. So you have to kind of just wait for that confirmation break. Simple as that. So yeah, at the moment, guys, just like I said, just let's wait. Let's see how it's going to play out. Of course, at the moment, given the fact that, let's say, it did have already quite a decent rally to the upside, maybe a bit of a retracement could be possible, but I would say, let's wait and see. I'm currently going to be examining the downside scenario. If we do drop below the 1920 zone, If we do fall below it, yes, but then I will keep my stop loss just in case this suddenly starts pushing back up, near. I will keep my stop loss near the 1920 or 1921 even, in case this suddenly starts reversing back up. Now, WTI oil, this one slowly trying to grind through this 82 territory. Look, I mean, if you're for now, I'm waiting. For now, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen here. Previously, I talked about this, and I said that, hey, maybe we would like to see, maybe we could consider a move higher if we do clear this highlighted territory. So far, we're just flirting with that. I'm just observing this, so I'm not really doing much. So, yeah, I'm looking at this. Look, it's on the way of confirming my idea, but I need some more confirmation. At the moment, yes, thank you very much. It's great. I mean, we're trying to push through that 82 territory, but at the moment we're struggling still. DXY, the dollar index. Okay, look, everything's in line. Everything's working out nicely here. We are pushing to the downside. We are moving towards that 101.30 territory. Look. Everything's, like I said, everything's in line. At the moment, I'm still targeting this area. Look, I'm not targeting anything below that. Okay, if it breaks it, great, I will go lower. But at this point, I just want to see how it's going to play out here. If it breaks and, for example, comes back up by the end of the day, okay, that's fine. We'll have ourselves a false breakout, but let's wait and see. If it rebounds from this territory and pushes back up, still I would like to see a push somewhere back above the 103.45 level in order to get comfortable with the upside. Ethereum, guys, looking at the picture here. Look. If you want to go higher, first of all, before we go higher, fantastic move here on Friday, good push through the 1610 zone, great, that confirmed the forthcoming higher high, but then we look at this, I was aiming for this 1676 territory, and I had this as a nice area of resistance, and look at where it got held. It got held just exactly here. So what's next? Basically, I would say let's keep an eye on this area. I think I need to make my arrow smaller here a little bit. 1788. That's going to be my next target if we pop above the 1676. If we do that, yes, I'll go higher. If we won't, look, it might bounce around here somewhere, but the fact that we are trading. Above that 200-day EMA and in general above all of the EMAs, that's really helpful for the bulls. So let's see if we can form, if this can play out as a nice bullish flag. But for that, like I said, we need that confirmation break above the 1676 zone. ADJPY jumping into a few pairs right now. So looking at this picture here, I can see that we are pushing, or at least trying to get back above this downside line. I think the buyers really enjoyed that moment while we were still here, and now, yeah, after this sharp decline, I think that the buyers regrouped, and it took a while, and they're now pushing this pair back to the upside. Now, the question here is, can this be maintained? Will this not only be just a false breakout? Because look, I understand why it's pushing higher. The stock market is, or at least trying to go back up. It's trying to build that upside momentum, but again, like I said, I'm a little bit on the pessimistic side, probably 51% pessimistic, 49 optimistic, but yeah, in terms of the stock market. But hey, what do I know, right? And that's why we're seeing right now a push higher, a push to the upside, a push towards, that downside line. We're breaking it now. The question here is, can we see a push through this barrier right here, through that 91 territory? Well, this is what I'm hoping for to see if I want to go higher. The only problem, again, I have with these two EMAs, the 100 and the 200-day EMAs. Because look, yes, we could see that, fabulous break through this downside line, through a push through that 91 territory, but excuse me, if it gets a hold up somewhere near these two EMAs again, well, that could, result into result in another decline, and then we could ignore this whole downside line idea, and it could just, start pushing back down. So that's why, look, I am leaning a little bit more towards the upside, but just bear with me one moment. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, I am leaning a little bit more towards the upside, but if these two EMAs are going to provide somehow resistance, then, well, we could see, like I said, a disappointing decline here for the bulls, and more sellers could start joining in. Now, if we clear the 92 territory, now that's where probably more excitement could come in, and we could see a push towards that 93.35 level or even above that. AUD USD. So again, this continues to trade here within this idea of a rising wedge pattern, which, according to all the TA rules, tends to break to the downside. However, we need to wait for that. We need to wait for a confirmation break. But at the moment, as long as it trades inside this pattern, it could still kind of go a little bit sideways here, but overall to the upside. So you could see this pair moving kind of maybe a little bit to the downside, but then mainly having a bigger push higher instead of lower. But again, that's while it's going to trade inside the pattern. But if it's going to get closer somehow to this lower side of the potential rising wedge pattern, because if it just starts, let's say it starts ranging here for now, if it gets closer to this lower side, now that's where maybe the excitement could come, and we could see that nice break to the downside. But again, let's not rush into anything. At the moment, I'm just observing this. Look, it's finding fantastic resistance around that, near that 0.70 territory. If we push through it, I'll go higher, but I'll aim for these for this this kind of upside line or upside resistance line, which, to be honest, doesn't really make sense. But anyway, but this upper side of the potential rising wedge idea. There we go. If we do clear this, like I said, if we do clear this psychological 0.70 territory, I'll aim for, first of all, for the upper side of the rising wedge. And then if we clear that, then of course I'll aim for that 0.7063 level marked by the current highest point of January. USD/JPY, so beautiful move to the upside. Yes, look, I talked about this last week and I said that, hey, we could see a nice retracement back up here, but if this downside line holds, guys, I mean, there is still potential to the downside. So that's why I'm not rushing into, the stock market is appealing. However, if the yen buying resumes, then yeah, we could see that could of course mean that the stock market is selling off. So now I'm kind of trying to go from the other side here on this one. If I see the yen buying again, or let's say if in this pair, if this downside line holds, yes, I mean the yen buying will be resumed, and that would mean that already the stock market is selling off. So look, that's why I'm not rushing anything. If we break the downside line here, great. There could be some potential for the upside, for further upside, and then we could take it from there, guys. USD CAD, very quickly on this one. Look, I talked about this. As I said before, I think I mentioned a while ago that this is my second least favorite pair. Although I still look at it on a daily basis, but look, this is not my favorite one because again, sometimes it's very, very technical and very attractive, but on the other days it's just doing whatever it wants, like Euro GBP basically. And yeah, and that's why for now we're just gonna wait and see what's gonna happen here, and then we'll take it from there. For now, look, the whole point is that I'm waiting for a clear break. Now, if you have just seen me pushing that upside upside barrier a little bit higher, the 1.3520, that's going to be my upside scenario from where I'm going to have my upside scenario. But at the moment, we're seeing a key test of this 1.3357 territory. Look, I spoke about this level previously. If we clear it and we stay below it, then yes, I will go towards that 208 EMA. GBP NZD, there we go, guys. Look at this. I talked about this last week. I said that, hey, we broke the upper side of the falling channel. Great. That means, yeah, we could go higher, but be careful with these EMAs, the 100 and the 200-day EMA, because if this pair just struggles to remain above those, guys, I mean, yeah, this is what could happen. We could shift back into the falling channel, and there we go. This is what happened here. So, basically, what's next? Okay, this is again, this is where that's the reason why I was mentioning these two EMAs here as well on AUD JPY. Yes, we could go higher, but hey, be very careful, because this is the scenario what's happening here at JPP NZD, and this is exactly what happened with DXY before, because when it, when it broke here the falling channel I had, it pushed higher, but it found resistance near the 200-day EMA and drifted back to the downside. GBP NZD following the same suit, and it's shifting back down, so it's back inside the falling channel. So that means that there is potential for some lower sides, or for testing some lower sides here, lower levels. But again, if you want to be a little bit more on the cautious side, what you can do here is just keep your eyes on this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 30th of December. If we clear that, then we'll go lower. 1.8958 would be the next level, and then if we clear that one, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low. GBP JPY is an interesting one here as well. We broke the downside line, and yeah, now the question here is, can we see a further move higher? Well, at the moment, yes. The simple answer is yes. But again, I will refer to the same problem. These two EMAs, we're breaking all the fantastic resistance levels. That's great, wonderful, but now we're approaching these two EMAs. Can we clear those? If we can, great. I'll go higher towards this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 31st of October. But if we cannot clear that, then, well, guys, I mean, maybe a bit of a decline back down could be possible again. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stick to my downside line, although a little bit on the tentative side, to be honest, but I'll stick to it for now, just to see if it's going to carry any significance or not. But if we do fall back below this downside line and we fall below the 21-day EMA, great. I'll consider a move lower. GBP USD. GBP USD here is stuck. It's stuck and is stuck with this, well, slightly below this 1.2444 level. However, the more it's stuck, the more attractive it becomes for me. Because why? Because again, if this is just going to continue staying here, let's say above all of the EMAs here on our daily chart, on my daily chart here, if it stays above somewhere above here, I mean above those EMAs, that's still okay. I mean, there is still potential for the bulls to step in. But as I said before, a confirmation break is needed. So we need to see a break above this barrier right here, the 1.2444. If clear that, and yes, I'll go to the upside. For the downside, I will probably start looking at some lower levels if we fall below the 1.2126. Euro JPY, there we go. Pushing nicely to the upside. We are climbing now, or should I say, we already climbed to that 100-day EMA, so the last EMA here on my chart. But I don't want to see something which we had here previously, where we pushed a little bit further up here, but then actually we reversed back down. However, there is potential for that. Why? Because look, I said before last week, I said that I'm keeping an eye on this idea of a triangle, because this is the upper side of that triangle, this is the lower side from which we rebounded, and it could push further north above that to this 100-day EMA shown as the green line. If it does push further, yes, my next target is this upper side of the triangle. If we clear that one, guys, that's where, yes, all the fun, or should I say more fun for the buyers could start. But to be honest, what I'm considering here is that, let's say we could see a push higher, maybe a hold up, maybe a drift back down, a little correction, and if then the bears cannot pick it up somewhere here, a nice reversal to the upside could be possible here, guys. So yeah, and then I will start mentioning this area, resistance area right here, roughly between the 142.85 and the 42.94 levels. Euro NZD. So yeah, a similar. Actually, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but look. I think I need to start fresh, but I'll quickly mention previous analysis here that look, we had a falling channel, we broke it to the upside, we moved higher, and now we started forming a range. So let me just tidy up this chart, and let me just yeah, start a little bit fresh. So roughly, the idea is here. So look, this is oh, not this one, I think that one instead. So this is the idea. At the moment we are stuck. We're stuck in this little channel here, this little range. Or yeah, well, it's actually a horizontal channel, but yeah, we're stuck here, and we're waiting for a clear move. We're waiting for a clear move outside of this. If we can get out of here, then yes, I will consider the next short-term directional move. So if we do break it to the upside, great, I will go higher. If we do break it to the downside, great, I'll go lower. But at the moment, I need to wait, and I need to wait because I don't want to do anything here. Look, if you are a range trader, guys, congratulations. Probably this could be for you, but once it gets closer to one of the sides, then just stay careful. EURUSD, look, beautiful continuation move to the upside, broke the 1.0874 level. I talked about it, and we found resistance near the 1.0936. This was my other target, and yeah, we have come closer to it. And look, at this point, I will remove all the drawings because again, it's a little bit in the way. I will just put right now this barrier, the 1.0936. This is going to be my main one that I'm going to be watching. If we clear it, then my next target is this one right here, or let's say the area near that 1.1185. However, I do accept the fact that we could see maybe even a correction, but for that I would probably need a drop at least somewhere below this 1.0766, because then it would be curious if the 21-day EMA could approach this area, and if it can, then yes, a nice good break here could lead to some lower levels, maybe even a move towards this 1.0483 territory. But again, let's not over speculate, because before that we do have this inside swing high. Also could be a nice interesting area. I think it's somewhere around here rather than, yeah, 1.0635 could be a nice target. But again, for that we would need to see a break below this 1.0766. So long story short, guys, if you're looking for some upside at the moment on EURUSD, probably wait for a push above the 1.0936. If you're looking for some downside, the 1.0766 could be our option. Could be a nice idea here, but again, still we do have obstacles in the way, but I'll reevaluate that if we do get a clear breakthrough one of these levels. So guys, that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, your views, your likes, your comments, everything, guys. So if you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a beautiful trading day. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.